All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are cracking open a case file on, well, one of the most mysterious and frankly terrifying figures in all of history.
So, you've probably heard the name Abaddon, right? Pop culture just loves to throw it around as shorthand for some big, bad, powerful demon. But, when you actually go back and look at the original texts, whoa, the picture gets way more complicated.
So let's do it. Let's dive in and really peel back all those layers of myth and scripture so we can finally figure out who or maybe what Abaddon actually is.
Okay, so our very first clue, it's right there in the name. I mean, the name itself pretty much tells you everything you need to know about this entity's core purpose. See, the original Hebrew name, Abaddon, it's not just a name, it's basically a job description. It comes from this root word, eved, which means to perish or to destroy. So Abaddon doesn't just cause destruction, it literally is destruction. It's the place of destruction. And get this, in Greek, the name is Apollyon, which also means the destroyer. This is no accident. The ancient writers went out of their way to tell us these are the same being. They wanted to make it crystal clear. No matter what language you're speaking, this guy's job is the same. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Abaddon wasn't always a person. If you go way back to the earliest Hebrew texts, like in the book of Job or Proverbs, Abaddon is a place. It's this realm of absolute finality, basically synonymous with Sheol, the underworld. It's only way later, like 1st century CE in the book of Revelation, that this place of destruction suddenly becomes a person who's in charge of it. All right, let's move on to the main event, our key piece of evidence. This is where Abaddon makes his grand, dramatic entrance, right out of the book of Revelation. Okay, so here's the scene. The abyss, this bottomless pit, is unlocked, and out of it pours this terrifying plague of, well, locusts. And the text says, and I quote, "They had as king over them the angel of the abyss, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon and in Greek is Apollyon." Wow.
And just look at the army he's commanding. These are not your garden variety locusts. No way. They're described as these monstrous hybrids. They've got faces like humans, teeth like lions, armor and tails with scorpion stingers. These things are literal supernatural tormentors, designed for maximum pain and suffering.
And their mission is so specific, it's chilling. They are there to torture, not to kill. And they do it for exactly 5 months. The text says the agony is so intense that people will actually pray for death, but they won't be able to find it. Just think about that. But here it is. This is the crucial point, the detail that complicates everything. The text calls him an angel, not a demon. He's the angel of the abyss. So, wait a minute. He's commanding these demonic, hellish forces, but his title is an angel? What is going on here?
So how do we make sense of that? Well, you can probably guess scholars are totally divided on this. And that division leads us to 2 completely conflicting theories about who Abaddon really is. Okay, so let's break it down. On one hand, you have theory A. He's an agent of Satan. Simple. A powerful demon, maybe even Satan himself, unleashing hell on earth. Makes sense, right? But then there's theory B. He's actually an agent of God, a holy angel carrying out a very specific and, very terrible divine judgment. And the biggest piece of evidence for that? His locusts are specifically told not to harm God's own sealed followers. A rebel wouldn't follow that rule. That suggests he's an enforcer, acting on divine orders. The evidence can really be read both ways, which is why people still argue about it. To get a better handle on this whole conflict, let's do what any good investigator would do. Let's create a profile of our subject, the destroyer. What can he actually do? So when you look at his powers, he holds the key to the abyss. He can unleash these tormenting locusts, but his core essence is just pure destruction. It's not like other figures who are driven by pride or rebellion. For Abaddon, it seems like destruction is just his job, his purpose. And crucially, he doesn't seem to act on his own. He executes a specific judgment at a specific time. That limited autonomy is a really big clue. And all of this brings our investigation to its climax. This is where all these conflicting clues come together and form one fascinating, mind-bending puzzle. So you put it all together, and what do you have? You have a figure who just doesn't fit neatly into any of our boxes. He's not quite an angel, not quite a demon.
This is what we can call the Abaddon paradox.
Think about it. He's an angel who rules over the abyss. He's a king of demonic locusts who apparently takes orders from God. His entire name means destruction, but he's forbidden to actually kill. I mean, he completely blurs the line between what we think of as good and evil, or order and chaos.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? How can a being serve God by commanding the forces of the abyss? It really challenges our nice, clean, modern ideas of good versus evil. This idea that angels only create and demons only destroy. Abaddon seems to suggest that sometimes, in some cosmic plan, destruction itself can be a divine tool. And that maybe, just maybe, the warden of hell is actually working for heaven.